Whether you're a tech enthusiast, industry professional, or just curious about the future of AI Agents Unleashed will keep you informed and inspired. Buckle up and get ready to unleash the potential of AI.
Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something that's been generating a ton of buzz. AI agents.
Yeah, these systems are way more advanced than just your average chatbot.
Think learning, adapting, making decisions all on their own.
Exactly.
Our sources today are excerpts from a research paper called On the Ethos of AI Agents, an ethical technology and holistic oversight system.
It's a pretty fascinating look at how we can make sure these increasingly autonomous AI systems are used ethically.
And get this, they're proposing to use blockchain for oversight.
Blockchain, yeah. It's all about transparency and security.
We're going to be uncovering all sorts of mind-blowing stuff, like whether AI could potentially have a legal status and how on earth we can make sure they stay on the right side of things, ethically speaking.
It's a wild ride, so buckle up.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly are these AI agents?
Well, the paper defines them as autonomous systems capable of learning, adapting, and making complex decisions.
Okay, but what does that actually look like, in real life?
Think of it like, imagine having a super-powered personal assistant.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
This assistant could manage your finances, diagnose health issues, heck, even run entire cities.
Whoa, now that's some serious AI.
It is, and the paper goes into some specific examples.
Oh, do tell.
Well, one example is an AI agent autonomously managing a remote clinic.
So like a robo-doctor in a rural area? That's pretty amazing.
Right. It could diagnose patients, recommend treatments, even perform minor procedures, all without direct human intervention.
Wow, that's a game changer, especially for places with limited access to healthcare.
Absolutely. And there are other examples too, like AI providing sentencing recommendations in court.
That one's a bit more controversial.
Definitely raises some ethical questions.
For sure. And what about something like AI managing a smart energy grid?
That's another example from the paper, optimizing energy distribution, reducing waste, making things more efficient.
Okay, so these AI agents have the potential to be incredibly helpful.
No doubt. But it's clear that they come with some big ethical challenges.
Yeah, like how do we make sure these super smart independent systems are actually good?
How do we ensure they act ethically? That's where the ETHOS framework comes in.
Okay, ethos sounds intriguing. Break it down for me.
So ETHOS stands for Ethical Technology and Holistic Oversight System, and it's all about building responsible and trustworthy AI.
Responsible, trustworthy AI. I like the sound of that.
It's based on 3 core principles: rationality, ethical grounding, and goal alignment.
Okay, let's unpack those, starting with rationality. What does that mean for an AI agent?
Basically means the AI needs to make decisions that are logical.
So not just acting on a whim or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Its decisions should be based on data evidence, the facts.
Right, we don't want an AI doctor prescribing medicine based on a hunch.
Definitely not. Which brings us to the next principle, ethical grounding.
Okay, ethical grounding. So we're talking about morals and values, right?
Exactly. It's about instilling human values into AI systems.
So like teaching them right from wrong.
Yeah.
Like digital kindergarten.
Haha, something like that. We want AI that respects human rights, dignity, privacy.
AI that avoids causing harm, both physical and emotional.
Exactly. It's about shaping AI's moral compass through careful design and oversight.
Makes sense. So we've got rationality and ethical grounding. What about goal alignment?
That's about making sure the AI's objectives match up with our own goals as a society.
So it's not just about what they can do, but what they should do.
Right on the money. We don't want AI optimizing for one thing, like efficiency at the expense of something else, like human well-being.
That's a great point. We need to make sure AI is working with us, not against us.
Absolutely. It's about aligning their goals with our long-term vision for a better future.
Okay, this all sounds fantastic in theory,
Yeah.
but how do we actually put these principles into practice?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Now, all ears.
Not all AI agents are created equal, right?
True. Some will be used for pretty low-risk tasks, while others could have a massive impact on society.
Right, so a one-size-fits-all approach to regulation wouldn't make sense.
So how do we account for those different levels of risk?
The ETHOS paper proposes a risk-based regulatory model that categorizes AI agents into 4 tiers.
4 tiers, huh? Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So we've got unacceptable, high risk, moderate risk, and minimal risk.
Okay, let's start with the scariest one. Unacceptable AI. What kind of AI falls into that category?
Unacceptable AI agents are those that pose a serious threat to humanity, like autonomous weapon systems.
Oh yeah, those definitely fall into the nope category.
Right. Or AI designed for mass surveillance without any ethical oversight.
Yeah, nobody wants to live in a dystopian surveillance state.
So these types of AI would be banned outright under the ETHOS framework.
Okay, that makes sense. What about high-risk AI agents? What kind of oversight would those require?
We're talking about AI that operates in critical domains like healthcare justice systems or finance.
Areas where the stakes are really high?
Exactly. These AI agents would need strict oversight, continuous monitoring, independent audits.
So basically, we'd be keeping a very close eye on them to make sure they're behaving themselves.
Precisely. We need to make sure they're not going off the rails and causing harm.
Gotcha. So high-risk AI gets the VIP treatment in terms of oversight. What about moderate risk?
Moderate risk AI agents are those used in things like education, customer service, or certain workplace tools.
So they don't have the same life or death stakes as high-risk AI, but we still need to make sure they're used responsibly.
Exactly. For moderate risk AI, the focus would be on things like transparency, user disclosure, and bias mitigation.
Right, making sure these systems are fair and unbiased, even if they're not making life-altering decisions.
Exactly. And finally, we have minimal risk AI, which includes things like your personal assistants, smart home devices, entertainment apps.
So our friendly AI coffee maker falls into this category.
They got it. The potential for harm with minimal risk AI is quite low, so they wouldn't need much regulation.
This tiered approach makes a lot of sense. It seems way more nuanced and flexible than just trying to ban all scary AI outright.
Absolutely. It's about applying the right level of oversight based on the potential impact of the AI agent.
Now, this all sounds great, but who gets to decide these rules? Do we want a few powerful entities controlling all AI development?
That's a valid concern. And it's one that the ETHOS paper addresses head on. They advocate for a decentralized approach using, guess what?
Blockchain. I should have seen that coming.
Yep, blockchain is all about transparency and decentralization, making it ideal for this kind of oversight system.
Okay, so how would that work in practice?
Imagine a global registry for AI agents built on a blockchain.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
This registry would keep track of everything, each AI agent's risk level compliance records, even details about its development and training process.
So it's like a public record of each AI agent's ethical track record.
Exactly. Anyone could access this registry and see which AI agents are meeting the standards and which ones aren't.
That's a pretty powerful tool for accountability.
It is, and it prevents any single entity from having control over the system.
So no more worries about a handful of corporations calling all the shots on AI.
Exactly. It's a much more democratic and transparent approach.
This is all incredibly fascinating. We've covered so much ground already, from defining AI agents and the ethos framework to this idea of using blockchain for ethical oversight.
And we're just getting started. There's still so much more to explore.
Like, how do we actually track and monitor these AI agents while still respecting privacy? We can't exactly have them constantly spied on, can we?
You're right, privacy is a major concern, and the ETHOS paper offers some innovative solutions for that, too.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Let's dive into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds like a plan.
Until then, keep those neurons firing. We'll be back soon with more on the fascinating world of AI agents and how we can make sure they're a force for good in the world.
See you then. Okay, so we've got this global system for tracking AI agents, all their information on the blockchain.
Right, with their unique IDs and everything. But how do we actually know they're following the rules?
How do we make sure they're acting ethically, especially when they're out there making decisions on their own?
Yeah, it's not like we can just trust them blindly.
Exactly. That's where things get even more interesting.
Oh, I love when things get interesting. Hit me with it.
Have you heard of soul-bound tokens?
SBTs.
Mm.
Not ringing a bell.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about like a digital soul for AI or something?
Not a soul exactly, but close.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Think of SBTs as digital badges of honor.
Badges of honor.
Yeah, but for AI, they earn these badges by demonstrating ethical behavior.
So an AI agent does something good, and it gets a gold star on its permanent record.
Kind of. Imagine an SBT that certifies an AI agent has passed a rigorous bias detection test.
Okay, so it's like proof that this AI isn't going to discriminate against certain groups of people.
Exactly. Or another SBT that verifies its compliance with data privacy standards.
So we know it's not going to be selling our personal information to the highest bidder.
Right on. These SBTs would be permanently attached to the AI agent's blockchain ID.
So it's like a public display of their ethical achievements. Anyone interacting with that AI agent can see, Okay, this one's been vetted.
Exactly. It makes choosing AI-powered products or services much easier.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. It's like a trust rating system, but based on verifiable actions, not just user reviews.
And here's the best part. Those SBTs are non-transferable,
Not transferable.
meaning an AI agent can't just buy them or borrow them from another AI.
So they have to actually earn them through demonstrably ethical action.
Exactly. It's about rewarding good behavior and building a reputation for trustworthiness.
But what if an AI agent messes up? Like it does something unethical and loses public trust. What happens then?
That's where the magic of blockchain really shines.
I knew blockchain would come back into play.
Remember those smart contracts we talked about?
Vaguely.
Well, those smart contracts can automatically revoke an AI agent's SBTs if it violates the terms of its certifications.
So there are real consequences for AI agents that step out of line.
Absolutely. The ETHOS framework is all about accountability. It's not just a set of guidelines, it's a system with teeth.
I like it. No more getting away with bad behavior just because you're a super intelligent AI.
Exactly. This system ensures that AI agents are held responsible for their actions.
It's a pretty ingenious system, honestly.
I agree. A lot of thought has gone into it. But of course, there are challenges to consider.
There are always challenges. What are we up against?
Well, one of the biggest hurdles is getting everyone on the same page about what ethical AI actually means.
You're right. What might be considered ethical in one culture could be totally different in another.
Exactly. So creating a global framework for AI ethics would require a lot of careful consideration and collaboration.
It's like trying to create a universal language for ethics. Not an easy task.
Not at all. And then there are the technical challenges.
Oh, right. Building this whole blockchain system for AI governance is a massive undertaking.
We're talking about potentially millions of AI agents all interacting and generating data.
It's like building a whole new internet, but for AI.
And it needs to be incredibly secure.
Right. We can't have hackers messing with AI agents or manipulating their data. That could have disastrous consequences.
Exactly. Security is paramount. So we've got the cultural challenges and the technical challenges. But there's one more piece of the puzzle.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Public perception.
Yes, the human factor.
If people are afraid of AI or don't understand how it works, they're less likely to support ethical guidelines.
It's like any new technology. Fear of the unknown can be a powerful obstacle.
Absolutely. So education and open communication are key. We need to demystify AI and show people the potential benefits of ethical development.
So it's not just about building the tech, it's about building trust.
Exactly. It's about showing people that AI can be a force for good in the world.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive. It's clear that AI governance is a complex and multifaceted issue.
It is, but it's also an incredibly exciting one.
We have a real chance to shape the future of AI in a way that benefits everyone.
And the ETHOS framework provides a solid roadmap for doing just that.
I agree. It's a vision that's both ambitious and inspiring.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have one big question to address.
Oh yeah, the elephant in the room? AI having legal status? Are we really going there?
We are. It's a topic that's both fascinating and a little bit unsettling.
I can't wait to dive into that. Let's save it for the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our AI agent deep dive. Ready to tackle the big one.
AI and the law. Let's do it.
I have to admit, this whole concept of AI having legal status is kind of blowing my mind. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does feel futuristic, right?
Mhm.
But it's a conversation we need to have now as AI becomes more and more sophisticated.
Yeah. I mean, things are moving so fast in the AI world. It's like every day there's a new breakthrough.
Absolutely. And with that rapid advancement comes a need to rethink our legal frameworks.
Right, because right now our laws are designed for a world where humans are the ones making decisions.
Exactly. But as AI agents become increasingly autonomous, things start to get a bit fuzzy.
Like if an AI agent causes harm, who's actually responsible? Is it the developer who created it? The company that deployed it? The user who is interacting with it?
It's a really tricky question. And that's where this idea of AI-specific legal entities comes into play.
Okay, break that down for me. AI-specific legal entities. What does that even mean?
Basically, it's about adapting our legal system to the unique challenges posed by AI.
So are we talking about like giving AI agents the same legal rights as humans?
Not quite. It's more about granting a limited form of legal personhood to certain types of AI.
Okay, now I'm really confused. What does it mean for AI to have legal personhood?
Think of it like this. Right now, corporations have legal personhood.
Right, they can own assets, enter into contracts, be sued.
Exactly. Well, the idea is to extend a similar status to highly autonomous AI agents.
So we're talking about AI that could potentially be held liable for damages just like a company.
Precisely.
Wow, that's a pretty radical concept.
It is. But it's a way to ensure accountability as AI takes on more and more responsibility.
So it's not about giving AI rights, it's about having a practical way to deal with them in our legal system.
Exactly. It's about finding a balance between promoting AI innovation and protecting people from harm.
I see. So this legal status wouldn't apply to every AI out there, right?
No, it would be reserved for those high-risk AI agents we talked about earlier.
The ones operating in critical domains like healthcare, finance, things like that.
Exactly. Those are the areas where the consequences of AI making a mistake could be really significant.
Makes sense. So if we're talking about AI potentially being held liable for damages, that brings up another question.
Insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to insure these AI agents?
That's a really important consideration, and the ETHOS paper actually delves into that.
Oh, really? They thought of everything.
They propose something called mandatory insurance for high-risk AI agents.
So kind of like how doctors have malpractice insurance.
Exactly. It would provide a financial safety net in case the AI causes harm.
That makes sense. It would also incentivize developers to create safe and ethical AI systems.
Right, because if their AI is risky, they'll have to pay higher insurance premiums.
It's a clever way to align incentives with ethical behavior.
The paper even suggests exploring consumer-level AI insurance.
Oh, wow. So like if my AI assistant accidentally orders me 100 pizzas, I could file a claim.
Haha, something like that. It's all about mitigating the risks associated with AI as it becomes more integrated into our lives.
It's definitely a lot to think about. This whole idea of AI and the law is going to be a major discussion point in the years to come.
Absolutely. As AI evolves, so too will the legal and ethical challenges.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive. It's been an incredible journey exploring the world of AI agents and all the complex questions they raise.
I agree. And I hope our listeners are walking away with a better understanding of this rapidly developing field.
We've talked about ethical frameworks,
Mm.
blockchain oversight, digital badges of honor, and even the mind-blowing concept of AI having legal status.
It's a lot to digest, but it's important stuff. We need to be having these conversations now to ensure that AI is used for good in the world.
Exactly. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
So keep asking questions, keep learning, and stay engaged in the conversation.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of AI agents.
Until next time.